It's the final part of the leveling guide. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. When we left off, everyone was having a good time in Menethil Harbor. Woohoo! If you did Silithus, you are 58. Otherwise, you are 57. Either way, we are all going to the same places from here on out. So first, hop on the boat to Aberdeen on the northern docks in Menethil. When you get to Aberdeen, take the flight path on up to Ruttheran village in Teldrassil. When you land, go straight up into Darnassus. In Darnassus, start by going south into the Temple of the Moon and upstairs. Here, you can turn in the quest Calm Before the Storm and accept a follow-up which sends you to the bank. So go north and turn it in at the bank. Next, go north into the Cenarian Enclave and climb up the big tree. At the second floor, turn in the quest Glyphed Oaken Branch. If you are level 58, you can train as well now. Otherwise, we will head back to the Flight Master in Ruttheran village, and we have two options. If you did the Silithus quests, we need to make a pit stop in Moonglade. If you didn't, then just fly straight to Winterspring. In Moonglade, all we need to do is run north into Nighthaven, and along the road in the first building you'll find Umber. Turn in the quest Umber Archivist and accept the follow-up Uncovering Past Secrets.
What can I do for you? Safe travel.
Then go to the southeastern building in Nighthaven. Inside, turn in Uncovering Past Secrets, and turn in the Reliquary quest as well if it was available. Most likely not though. Don't take that follow-up either way, it's a Dire Maul quest. And once you've done that, run back to Umber at the entrance of Nighthaven. He should have an autocomplete quest titled Under the Chitin Was ... It's basically just free 4,000 experience. I'll take it, thank you very much. Then head back to the Flight Master, and we will fly to Winterspring with the non-Silithid people. When you land in Winterspring, we will head into Everlook. Turn in the quest Are We There Yeti? And then turn in Felnock Steelspring for the follow-up Chillwind Horns. Also be sure you have the quest inside the inn now, Duke Nicholas Zverenhof, but don't take Jessica's quest. The reason we're not taking her quest is it's a breadcrumb quest that gives 400 experience, but it takes the place of another breadcrumb quest that gives way more that we want to take instead. Next, run south out of Everlook into the hills and start killing Chillwind Chimera. There are various types of Chimera that spawn all over Winterspring, and we need them for their uncracked horns to complete the quest Chillwind Horns. The drop rate on these horns isn't that great, but we basically want to wait out our Hearthstone timer right now anyway, so find a good spot to kill them to get the 8 horns. My ideal spot is south of the Yeti Cave where we find the 56 to 57 Chillwinds. They don't do anything particularly interesting except the breath attack, which we can stop or not. Just watch your HP and grind around here until you get the 8 horns you need. When you do have the 8 horns, take a look at your Hearthstone cooldown. If it's not available, keep grinding until it is. Then we will go back to Everlook. Turn in the quest Chillwind Horns and accept the follow-up Return to Tinky. You can check the vendor again here for the major healing potion recipe if you're an alchemist and don't have it yet, but then we will be hearthing back to Menethil Harbor. In Menethil, hop on the flight path to Ironforge as your first stop.
Hello.
In Ironforge, all we're doing here is going into the High Seat and turning in the quest The Smoldering Ruins of Thaurissan.
What's on your mind?
Train if you are 58, and then fly to Stormwind City. When you land in Stormwind, start by visiting the bank. Remember those relic fragments we banked, the 4 of them? We're about to finally turn those in, so take all 4 out of the bank and put them in your bags. Our next stop is the Cathedral District. On the northeast side, head into the Alexston's house. We were here a long ass time ago in our 20s. Go upstairs and talk to Bathrelor and turn in Better Late Than Never and accept the follow-up Good-Natured Emma.
Hey there.
The Emma quest can be turned in just outside the Cathedral District in the canals. You should see the turn in marker blip right away, so run to it and turn it in for the follow-up Good Luck Charm.
Well met.
Next, make your way into Stormwind Keep up to High Lord Bolvar. Turn in the quest here, The True Masters. If you have it, take the follow-up, talk to Lady Prester to complete it, then turn it in again at Bolvar for the next quest. If you don't have the True Masters, you should still come here to talk to Bolvar and take the quest from him, the first and the last. This quest turns in at Matthias Shaw to the south of Old Town in the barracks. Talk to Shaw and turn it in for the quest Honor the Dead, then turn that in as well and take the quest Flint Shadowmoor.
Light be with you. The Alliance. Be careful.
Then we will be done in Stormwind. You need to make a judgment call though. If you have the True Masters quest, you should definitely fly to Lakeshire Redridge, then to Burning Steps for its next part. But if you don't have the True Masters quest, the only reason to go to Burning Steps is to turn in the quest Return to Tinky, and it doesn't give a whole lot of experience. So you can do it, but I recommend you skip this next quest unless you did True Masters, and instead just fly straight back to Chillwind Point. Otherwise, we'll be flying to Lakeshire Redridge. When you land, go into the town hall and turn in the True Masters and take the follow-up.
Greetings. Light bless you.
Then go back to the Flight Master and fly to Morgan's Vigil and Burning Steps.
Can I help you? Safe travel.
In Burning Steps, turn in the True Masters for the follow-up in Morgan's Vigil, then we will ride north to Flamecrest. When you get to Flamecrest, turn in Return to Tinky, and then talk to the dwarf Ragged John until you get the objective complete for the quest True Masters. Then we will go back to Morgan's Vigil. Turn in the True Masters quest, and the follow-up will send you to Blackrock Depths. That's really all we came here for, so fly back north to Chillwind Point. As you are flying to Chillwind Point, you should start looking for a group to kill Araj the Summoner. With or without the Thorium Bar quest, we'll get a quest in Chillwind to kill him, and it gives a ton of experience if you can do it before level 60. We're about to run into a lot of max level quests, so if you can somehow get groups to do them pre-level 60, you'll hit 60 that much faster, but of course none of it is required to hit 60. Araj is just very easy to do, so it's worth trying to find people to kill him while we're in Western Plaguelands. When you land in Chillwind Camp, accept the quest Target Garon's Withering, then turn in Fireplume Forged if you did it and accept Araj's Scarab. Talk to Flint Shadowmoor to turn in the quest and get Eastern Plagues.
What can I do for you? See you around.
And then talk to Nathaniel for the quest A Plague Upon Thee. Also take the quest here called Alas Anderhol, that's the Araj quest. Next, we will head into Sorrow Hill. There's a single standing structure in Sorrow Hill with a ghost NPC upstairs. Go up into the building and talk to her for the quest Little Pamela. This will only be available if you don't have Jessica's quest from Everlook. Our next target is to go back to Fellstone Fields, north of Anderhall, so run around that pit of hell until you reach the north side. At Fellstone Fields, we want to clear inside the farmhouse. The mobs should be even easier than last time, but still possible to get swarmed, so pull cautiously until you get access to the second floor of the building. When you get there, turn in the quest Good Luck Charm and accept the follow-up 2 halves become 1. You can also suicide run it if you're tired of clearing this shit, which you probably are. But for the quest 2 halves become 1, we need to find a named mob called the Jabbering Ghoul. He spawns around the fields. You usually find him on the west side, but he roams around. Clear around the fields until you find him or until he respawns. He is at risk of dying to the Scarlet guys, so watch out for that. Once he's dead, loot the Good Luck Charm's other half, and then make your way back into the house.
Not enough rage. I can't do that. I can't do that. Ready yet? I can't do that. I can't do that yet.
Turn in the quest 2 halves become 1 upstairs, and then we are done with Fellstone Fields. Our next target will be Garon's Withering to the southeast, ways away on the edge of Western Plaguelands. When you get there, the only thing to do is to clear to the cauldron. On this field there are shades and ghosts which are immune to bleeds, but oddly you can poison them. They are higher level, so we need to be careful as we clear to the Cauldron Lord, but we can handle pulls of 2 at level 58, so it shouldn't be too bad. When you can, pull the purple ghost and kill it for the key.
It's too far away.
Then find a clear path to the cauldron, turn in target Garon's Withering, and accept the follow-up return to Chillwind Camp.
I'm out of range.
Then we will go back north to the main road. Follow the road east until you reach Eastern Plaguelands and cross the bridge. The moment you cross the bridge, right away, start riding north over the hills and follow the river until you reach Tyrion Forgeling outside his house. From him, take his 3 quests, Demon Dogs, Blood-Tinged Skies, and Carrion Grubbage. Then we will start working on all 3 of these quests. We want to complete all 3 of these quests by the time we reach Light's Hope, so start killing the monsters as soon as you start seeing them. Firstly, the Runts and the Plague Bats only spawn on the west end of Eastern Plaguelands. We need 30 bats, so expect to run around here a lot to get the 30 that you need. The carrion grub can be killed all over the place, but it's easiest to get the slabs of meat from the lower level ones that we find around here. Rotate around the wildlife and kill everyone that you see, but we do have 2 other things to do while we are here on the western side. So set them as your destinations as you grind, and also be aware of a giant bat named Duskwing that flies around here. It's a level 60 elite that'll make quick work of you if he aggroes you. Firstly, make your way east along the road until you reach the Maris Stead, a big hill north of the main road. You should find just off of the road a skeleton. It looks like a player corpse. Interact with it and loot Rutgar's insignia for the quest Eastern Plagues. Then go up to the Maris Stead on the big hill to find Tyrion's corpse and loot that too. Lastly, we will need to inch right up to Nathanos for Freddo's corpse. Also make sure you get close enough to Nathanos Blightcaller to complete the objective Blightcaller Uncovered. But be careful as he is a Horde quest giver, so there may be Horde players here, and if he aggroes you, he's going to stomp you, so run away if that happens. When you're done with that, our next target is Darrowshire. So clear your way southeast of the Marrow Stead until the road branches southwards.
I can't do this yet. It's too far away. My ability isn't ready yet. My ability isn't ready yet. You have rage.
When you reach Darrowshire, in the far western house, you'll find Little Pamela. Talk to her to turn in the quest Little Pamela and take the follow-up quest Pamela's Doll. This quest is hella freaking bugged on private servers. The ghosts spawn non-stop. It's a freaking nightmare. It should be way easier in classic. We need to loot 3 doll parts. The head is in the northeasternmost building, and the left and right parts spawn all over the other houses. Ghosts will spawn when you loot or approach them that give no experience, so leash them or hamstring kite them, do whatever you can to get the doll parts you need to complete the quest.
Not enough rage.
Once you have the 3 parts, combine them to make the doll and then go back to Little Pamela. Turn in Pamela's doll and accept her 2 follow-ups, Uncle Carlin and Auntie Marlene. Then all that's left around here is to finish Tyrion's 3 quests. Whenever you finish killing the Plague Bats and the Runts, you can start making your way northeast of the road around the Infectus Scar, and you should start finding the normal Plague Hounds. These regular plague hounds spawn around some really annoying higher level plague bats, so do your best to avoid them as you find the 5 hounds you need. Then lastly, go north beyond Blackwood Lake and you should start finding frenzied plaguehounds spread around here. Kill the 5 you need, but be wary that they hit hard and avoid the monstrous plague bats that are a pain in the ass to kill as well. Once you get demon dogs done, start riding southeast towards Light's Hope, but make sure you have all the slabs of carrion meat by the time you get there. When you reach Light's Hope, there's a lot of quests, but most of them are dungeon related sadly. There's not a lot for us little baby levelers to do. Talk to Duke Nicholas Zverenhof to turn in the quest Duke Nicholas Zverenhof. Then turn in Uncle Carlin at Carlin Redpath and accept Defenders of Darrowshire. Make sure you clear your bags and grab the flight path.
How are you?
And a little bit south outside of Light's Hope, in the graveyard, you'll find Caretaker Alan. From him, take the 2 quests, The Restless Souls and Zaldar the Outcast.
How are you? Have a good one. You need something? Safe travels.
Then we will be flying back to Chillwind Point.
Great to meet you. Safe travel.
When you land, return to Chillwind and accept mission accomplished, and then turn that in for some juicy experience. You can also turn in the Iraj quests if you did them.
See you later. Hey there. See you later. See you around.
Turn in the quest The Eastern Plagues for an insane amount of experience as well, and accept the follow-up The Blightcaller Cometh. Now, the Blightcaller Cometh quest turns in inside Stormwind and leads to a level 60 raid quest. Turning it in Stormwind rewards 10,000 experience. It's a massive chunk, but it's also a long flight. Because I hate grinding, I go and fly to turn it in now, and then I hearth back to Menethil. But you can put this off and turn it in later if you'd like. Basically, just land in Stormwind, run to the keep, talk to Bolvar to turn it in. You should take the follow-up and keep it just in case a group starts forming to kill Blightcaller. It'll give you some good level 60 starter blues. Then hearth back to Menethil and fly back to Chillwind Point, where we'll keep doing what we were doing. When you land, run back to Sorrow Hill and go into the only building here. Turn in the quest upstairs, Auntie Marlene, and accept the follow-up, A Strange Historian. For this quest, we need a ring from one of the graves just outside the house in Sorrow Hill, so clear around the Lobby 50 mobs until you get to the grave and loot it for Joseph's wedding ring. Then we will be riding around the western road into Anderhall. In Anderhall, there is a single standing structure on the northwest end we need to get into. It's easiest to approach it from the north or the west to avoiding fighting too much to get inside. Once you do get inside the building, clear your way into the staircase and then up the stairs. Be cautious of the 2 acolytes on the 2nd floor. If you approach by hugging the right wall, you should be able to just aggro one of them and use line of sight to pull it down and kill it, then go upstairs and kill the second one. Remember how to clear in here, as you'll have to do this a few times. But once it's clear, on the second floor, go up and talk to Chromie to turn in the quest A Strange Historian. Also bow and pay respect to Chromie and thank her for classic WoW. Then take the follow-up quests, Annals of Darrowshire, and also take the quest A Matter of Time. Then we will head back outside. Now let's start working on A Matter of Time. This quest wants us to use the quest item, a temporal displacer, on grain silos. These spawn on the east end of Anderhall, so make your way out of Anderhall on the north side and just run around until you start seeing the grain silos. In order for the quest item to work on the silo, it has to be glowing blue, and when you use it, it'll spawn anywhere from 1 to 3 parasites. Of course, the private server is bugged and it always spawns 3, which actually makes this quest a bit hard, as 3 can kill you if you don't play safe. Make sure to use Demo Shout and Thunderclap to keep your HP up. Clear around the multiple silos here and use the temporal displacer until you kill all 10 parasites you need. When you're done, we've got to mosey on back to Chromie in her house. Second verse, same as the first. Clear your way inside and upstairs. Talk to Chromie and turn in A Matter of Time and take the follow-up, Counting Out Time. This next quest we can do in tandem with the Annals of Darrowshire. First, Counting Out Time wants us to loot lockboxes that spawn in the ruined houses of Anderhall. There's basically one lockbox per ruined house. Clear house to house and loot the lockboxes until you get the 5 Anderhall watches. While you're doing this though, we also want to make our way towards the large town hall in the center of Anderhall. The town hall is surrounded by big poles and elite, but if we approach from the west and hop on the ledge of the building, it's possible to get in without aggroing anything outside. Of course, I oopsie doopsie and die, but you're good and you should do it without messing up. Yeah! Inside the town hall are a bunch of books. Most of them are fakes. If you loot a fake one, an elite ghoul will spawn and kill you. Look for the page colorings for the lighter colored pages to signify the real book and loot it for the quest Annals of Darrowshire. This quest is bugged again on private servers. We get the book no matter what, but we also get an elite no matter what. So whatever. If you get the right book, you should be able to avoid the elite and complete the quest. When you have the book, sneak on back outside, finish up clearing the houses for the Anderhall watches. And when Counting Out Time is done, make your way back to Chromie. Third verse, same as the first. Talk to Chromie and turn in Counting Out Time and Annals of Darrowshire and accept the follow-up, Brother Carlin. She'll also enable a repeatable for more attuned dampeners, but they're not really needed. They only work against Araj, and he's easy as is, so hold on to it anyway if you plan on killing him. With that though, we are finally done with Anderhall, so run north to the main road. Then follow it east into Eastern Plaguelands. In Eastern Plaguelands, go north of the road along the river until you get to Tirion Forge Ring. Turn in the 3 quests, Demon Dogs, Carry on Grubbage, Blood-Tinged Skies, and accept Redemption. The quest Redemption wants you to talk to Tirion, but he'll only talk to you if you're sitting, so make sure you press X or /sit, and then talk to him and complete the quest, and turn it in for the follow-up of Forgotten Memories. Then we will ride back south to the road. A bit east and south you should find the Undercroft, where we will be doing the last hard quest of this guide, probably the second hardest quest to solo. The quest of Forgotten Memories wants us to interact with a mound on the southern side of the Undercroft, so clear your way to it and clear a large open space around it as well. When we loot the mound, a group of 4 mobs will spawn, and they all hit insanely hard. We only actually need to kill the named one to get the quest item, so as preparation, clear the shit out of the surrounding area and build up a full rage bar. Put on every single buff you have. I even recommend busting out the Mechanical Yeti for this.
It's too far away.
When he spawns, charge him, intimidating shout his ads, pop Death Wish, Recklessness, everything you got, and try to kill him before the fears wear off, and have a potion ready as well. Once he dies, loot the hammer and spam Piercing Howl to get away. Other classes, if you're a caster, I recommend you wait for him to appear and stand far away, and once he's there you burst him down with your big hitting spells from a distance. It is possible to solo, but very hard, so obviously group or ask for help if you can. If you fail to kill him with your big cooldowns, you will have to skip this quest for now and try again when they're off cooldown, which sucks because this leads to some big XP quests. But we'll be back here later, so you can try it again later. Either way, once you're done with those shenanigans, our next target is actually in the Undercroft. These trolls by themselves are no big deal, but when you're clearing into the Undercroft, there's a big room at the bottom that has lots of them clustered together. Try to pull one of the side trolls in this lower room to avoid aggroing all of them at once. They do a nasty knockdown, so if you have too many on you, they'll just chain knock you down to death. Once you're able to clear the room for the most part, pull the big troll in the back, Zeldar the Outcast. He's nothing special, he's just got a cool model. So once he's dead, loot his head and then look for the large scroll on the ground and talk to it for the quest Hamea's Plea. Then head on out of the Undercroft and back to the main road. If you manage to get Of Forgotten Memories done, you should ride back north to Tirion, otherwise skip this next part and continue towards Light's Hope eastward. At Tirion, just turn in Of Forgotten Memories and accept the follow-up of Lost Honor. Then we will go to Light's Hope as well. It's exactly now that I hit 5 days played, and I was so sad I couldn't ding under 5 days, but it's my own fault. I made so many mistakes. Oh well, let's go on to Light's Hope. In Light's Hope, turn in Brother Carlin and accept the Villains of Darrowshire and Heroes of Darrowshire. Then dip south to the Caretaker and turn in Zeldar the Outcast.
You need something? See you around.
Clear your bags up, and then our next stop will be the Infectus Scar west of here. We want to approach the scar from the north side, because on the northernmost point of the scar, down below you should see a glowing red sword surrounded by ghosts. Slide down into the scar here and loot the shattered sword of Marduk, and then mount up and you can run westward out of the scar. You can grind your way out if you'd like, but you don't need to, and the oozes aren't that fun to deal with. Once you get out of the scar on the western side, ride straight north until you come upon the Blackwood Lake. The lake is filled with water elementals, and in the middle is the item we need for the quest of Villains of Darrowshire. So kill your way back to the bottom of the lake until you can safely loot the skull of Horgus. The elementals here can fear you though, so be cautious of that and fight them in Berserker stance. Make sure they don't fear you into extra ads. Once you get the skull, swim out of the lake and continue riding north. From here we want to go up all the way to the mountains until you find the Quel'Thalian Lodge. Just outside the lodge, talk to Aurora Skycaller and turn in the Spirits of Kel'Tharill, the quest that we did in Winterspring. Yep, it turns in right here. Don't ask me why. Don't take the follow-up either. Then our next stop will be west of here into the Plaguewood. The Plaguewood is the epitome of Spooky Town. We have 3 things we want to do here, and we will loop around a bit. Firstly, we want to reach the west side of Plaguewood and do a quest there, and then make our way back. So, as you are doing that, in Plaguewood itself, you should be hunting down every cannibal ghoul you find. We don't need any other mob here but the cannibal ghouls, so single them out. Each time a cannibal ghoul dies, a spirit will appear, and we need to talk to the spirit to get the quest credit for Defenders of Darrowshire, and we need to do this 15 times in total. In addition, we also need plagued termites. They spawn in termite mounds around the Plaguewood. They look lighter colored than the other stuff here, and they have green gunk on top. Each time you loot a mound, you can get 1 termite or 20. It's really random how many mounds you need to get the 100 to complete the quest. So keep killing the cannibals and looting the mounds until you reach the western end of Plaguewood.
Not ready yet. I need to get closer. I need to get closer. Not ready yet. I can't do that yet.
You should then find a small ruined village called Terrordale. This place is filled to the brim with crypt fiends that web, so it's hard to just run through. Our target though is the westernmost house, so clear through Terrordale until you get to the house. Inside, talk to Gregan to turn in the quest The Restless Souls, and don't take the follow-up now, it's a Stratholme quest. Next to him, you can also take the quest Augustus's Receipt Book. This quest gives very little experience and unlocks a vendor here, but it's easy to do and makes us kill cannibal ghouls, so we might as well do it. To complete the quest, look for the tavern building in Terrordale and clear inside. Then clear up to the 2nd floor and you should find some more cannibal ghouls along the way to help finish Defenders of Darrowshire.
More rage.
In the big room on the second floor should be a book. Loot it to complete the quest Augustus Receipt Book. Then make your way back to him in the western house. Turn in the quest and you'll get 1k experience and unlock the vendor here. He sells a limited supply item that has a random green in it, sometimes better, but I'm not a gambling man so I don't bother with it. Clear your bags and then go back to the Plagwood.
That ability isn't ready yet.
This time we want to make sure we finish Defenders of Darrowshire and A Plague Upon Thee by the time we reach the eastern end of Plagwood, so work hard on them.
That ability isn't ready yet. Need more rage. That ability isn't ready yet.
Once you complete both, exit the Plagwood eastward and continue northeast through eastern Plaglands towards the mountains. You should eventually find some troll huts and a path leading up the mountains. Start killing the Moss Flayer trolls here that contest you as you make your way up into Zulmashar. These trolls are higher level and have tricky mechanics. For example, the scouts will immediately try to flee when you aggro them to find allies, so make sure you hamstring them. The rest of them mostly use ranged attacks, so try not to get overwhelmed. Use distance to pull the ranged attackers back. You can handle pulls of 2, but 3 is bad, and these guys are 58 to 59, so play it safe. When you reach the top, the only thing we need here is the named troll walking around the grave mounds, Infiltrator Hamea. So clear a path to the mounds through the Shadow Hunters until you can solo pull Hamea. When you pull him, be aware that he is level 60 and it's a pretty tough fight. It's soloable, but be prepared to use hamstring and bandage against him if you need to. Once he's dead, loot his key and we'll be done here, so head south out of Zulmashar. Then continue southeast along the mountains and you'll eventually reach a ruined town of Northdale. The only thing we need here is at the bottom of the water. The water has like these 3 little bubbly sections and what we want is in the middle section, so swim on down and loot the symbol of lost honor. Note that this is for the Tyrian quest, so if you couldn't complete of Forgotten Memories, then you won't have this, so you can skip this step. Then we will be riding back to Light's Hope. In Light's Hope, turn in Villains of Darrowshire, then turn in Defenders of Darrowshire, and then fly on over to Chillwind Camp.
See you around. Be careful.
What can I do for you?
When you land, turn in the quest A Plague Upon Thee and accept the follow-up. Then we will ride north through Western Plaglands around Anderhall. The quest A Plague Upon Thee wants us to go to the Northern Lumberyard. We passed it in the previous parts of the sky to get to Cursta for the quest Unfinished Business. It's way north in Western Plaglands beyond Dalson's Tears. When you reach the lumber mill, we need to interact with a crate within the mill itself, so clear your way carefully towards it and be mindful of the named Scarlet that wanders here as he's hard to deal with if you get aggro from him.
Not ready yet. I can't do that yet.
Be cautious of the double pulls, but nothing here is really that dangerous. Once you get to the crate, talk to it and turn in A Plague Upon Thee and accept the follow-up quest. Then ride back south, and we also want to ride east over the river to get to Tyrion as soon as the mountains open up, and lets us do so. So run around the mountains and then across the river. Then ride north to Tyrion Fordring. Turn in the quest of Lost Honor and accept the follow-up of Love and Family. Then our next stop will be back to the Undercroft. So go back south to the main road and then ride south of the main road to get back to the Undercroft and the Trolls. What we want to do here now is talk to a mound of dirt that is just beside the cart behind the Undercroft crypt. So clear to it, talk to the dirt, and then turn in the quest Hamea's Plea. And woohoo! Level 60! But we'll do a bit more quests just in case you are not 60, for those of you who couldn't do Silithus. This is also a chance for you to try and do Of Forgotten Memories again if you failed it the first time we were here. From here, we should run back west to the border of Western Plaguelands and follow the river south and then jump into Darrowmere Lake. Swim through the lake to the western side of Caer Darrow and in the first house on the shore, talk to the artist Renfrey to turn in Of Love and Family for the follow-up if you'd like. This is a Stratholme quest, but it leads to some of the best in slot pre-raid items, so definitely hang on to it. Then lastly, we will ride west back to Chillwind Point. In Chillwind Point, turn in the quest A Plague Upon Thee, and that's it! We've done pretty much all of the soloable, non-dungeon quests. Either you are level 60 or you are fairly close. Your options left are to grind it out, run Blackrock Depths, or try to get groups for Heroes of Darrowshire and Araj the Summoner if you didn't already. Alright, well, if you are anything like me, honestly, I thought I would be so excited when I hit level 60, but I actually feel kinda sad, like, the journey's over, there's no more leveling left to do. But worry not, my friends. You now have the long journey ahead of you to make money, improve your gear, raise your reputations, and become a name on your server everyone recognizes. The first step, though, is to fly to Goldshire and ERP with some hot night elves. I hope you enjoyed this leveling guide, and I hope it helped you reach level 60 smoothly and in a timely manner, and hopefully you had fun doing so. I'll continue uploading classic content to my channel, including some of the what do I do now when I'm 60 tips and things like that, but I'm sure by now you are sick and tired of my voice, so go put on some sick techno, and when you're ready, I'll be here waiting for you. Until then, I am booping out. Boop.